I'm sure you've heard of Fred Figglehorn, the boy with a high-pitched voice that not many people seem to like on YouTube. Well, I have a few theories to tell about him that I've discovered because his behavior certainly does not seem normal. Theory number one. Fred was born with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. His father died in a car crash before he was born. His mother isn't really a prostitute either. Fred just seen it that way growing up. His mother told him his father was in jail to stop him from getting violent, and she tried everything in her power, getting the neighborhood children Kevin, Judy, and Bertha to help him and be his friend. However, Fred didn't really like Kevin because Kevin also had a crush on Judy, so one day Fred pushed Kevin into a river, drowning him to death. Judy found this out and got scared of Fred. She tried to avoid him at every cost, even at school. After school one day, though, when Fred was following Judy's car home, Judy's mom crashed into a tree, instantly killing them both. Fred was distraught, so in his mind, he created teenage Kevin and Judy, imagining that they were still alive. No wonder his grandma thought he had to see a therapist. Now, Bertha was the only girl who loved Fred, but Fred didn't like that, so he set her house ablaze, killing Bertha and her family. Fred's mom still loved her son, but she couldn't cope anymore, so she committed suicide by hanging. And when Fred found her lifeless body, he grabbed a carving knife, severing his spinal cord from the neck, killing him in a matter of seconds. In the afterlife, Fred met all the people that died in his life, Kevin, Judy, and Bertha, who were mad at him for killing them, so they bullied him. Fred gained the high-pitched voice from his voice box being destroyed. The spirit of his mom remained angry at her son for killing himself as well. The Figglehorn house is now empty. Kevin's mother eventually developed schizophrenia, imagining Fred visiting her house and that Kevin was still alive. Judy's house and trailer were demolished a year after their deaths, and Fred's school put up trees in their memories before it was demolished 5 years later. Now, as for my second theory, there is no such thing as Kevin, Judy, Bertha, Fred's dad, or his mom. Fred was in the army. He was shot multiple times but survived. Kevin was one of his best friends in the army, but sometimes he was strict and kind of nasty. Now, Judy was a female computer worker looking for any bombs located nearby. As for Fred's mom, she died at birth, and his father was sentenced to life in prison after beating Fred's mom and killing her parents. Kevin was killed by stepping on a grenade, and Judy was killed by the separate building blowing up by an attack. When Fred left the army, he suffered from hallucinations, which later turned into bipolar and schizophrenia. His high-pitched voice is the result of his voice box being damaged from being shot in the neck. In Fred the movie, in the scene he wanders, to take the ketchup, he suffers a flashback from when he was trying to save Judy but got shot in the process. To make things better, Fred takes drugs, therefore hallucinating that his mother's still alive. Although Fred is a grown adult, the drugs and his illness make him think he's 6 to 15 years old. If you think about it and watch the video of the full movie of Fred, you'll start to understand where I'm coming from. Durf, imaginary friend to show Fred's cool side. Kevin, dead friend, hallucination, and ghost. When Kevin threatens to beat Fred up, he is not really talking to Fred. The ghost of Kevin is threatening another ghost inside the house. Judy, also dead friend, hallucination, and ghost. Fred desired one last moment to sing with Judy. His drugs and illness make him think that she moved house at the end when the ghost of Judy comes to Fred's house. She actually isn't talking to Fred. She was rehearsing how to tell him she wanted to sing with him before her death. Fred's mom, hallucination. Fred's dad, hallucination. Bertha, ghost. You see, Bertha died by drowning in the swimming pool at a young age. So now her spirit was tied to the swimming pool, making it hard for her to stay at her home for long. The man cleaning out the swimming pool looked back to where Fred was buried. Even he suspected a ghost was present. The party at Judy's. a bunch of hallucinations Fred had one night. All the people in the house were killed in the war. Fred also remembered a party like that had happened before being in the army. As for Fred's party, Fred overdosed on drugs that night. Now do you see?